Hello and thank you for joining us on the Tuesday edition of Journalist Hangout. I'm Ayodele Uzubakum. Today on the program, Governor Bello raises alarm. The alarm says Boko Haram has hoisted its flag in Niger State village as Borno Emirates concerned citizens forum lament over deterioration of insecurity situation in Borno and Yobe states. I'll be hanging out with Babajide Kolade Otitoju and Mayor Akipelu. So if you're ready, let the hangout start now. Thank you for staying with us. It is commonly said that if you ignore the fire burning in your neighbor's house, it will soon become your problem. Governor of Niger State, Abubakar Sani Bello, says Boko Haram has infiltrated his state, not only hoisting their flags in villages they have overrun, but also forcefully taking displaced women as wives. He warns that one of the affected villages, Kaure, in Shiroro local government area, is just 2 hours away from Abuja. Hence, no one is safe anymore. Let's hear from the governor. That's Governor Bello himself.
The situation is critical and it's terrible. Last night, we had over 3,000 people here from communities that have been displaced by bandits and Boko Haram elements around Munya and Shiro local governments. However, some of them have started going back to their various homes, and there are some other communities that we think are safe, they can go back. But the vast majority of them will have to remain here because their towns have been taken over by bandits and Boko Haram elements. Their wives have been seized from them. Their wives have been forcefully attached to Boko Haram members elements. In fact, I just heard they've already placed their flag in Kauri, so which means they've taken over the territory. And this is what I've been engaging the federal government with. And unfortunately, it has now gotten to this stage that if care is not taken, nobody, not even Abuja, is safe. We have been saying this for long. We've been saying this, and all efforts have been in vain. I hope with the outcome of these banditry activities and terrorist activities, I hope the time has come now to see reasons for a very coordinated military action to take place so that we displace. The Boko Haram elements are trying to use these areas as their home, just like they did in Sambisa. Well, Sambisa is hundreds of kilometers away from Abuja, but Kaure is less than 2 hours drive to Abuja, so nobody is safe anymore. Not even Abuja is safe. So this is the time to act. But everybody, all hands must be on deck. All hands must be on deck. It's not for Niger State alone, no. It's for everybody to act. We have made all the efforts we need to do, and we have done it. We have tried our best. I am confirming that we have Boko Haram elements in Niger State around Kaure. They've taken over the territory. They've installed their flag. I'm confirming that now. They've taken over the wives of people by force.
All right. Meanwhile, members of the Borno Emirates Concerned Citizens Forum are also lamenting over worsening security in Borno and Yobe states. Rising from a meeting in Maiduguri, they said the escalation of Boko Haram attacks in both states in recent times has become ridiculous for the military, insisting that the use of the same tactics by security formations is strengthening the insurgents. The group wants President Muhammadu Buhari to take new steps in solving the security crisis. To lend credence to these claims, let's share a trending video of residents of Gaidam fleeing their homes due to Boko Haram attacks.
dabbobin nan ku bi kasa da su ko ainihin hanyar dabba ka bi kasa yawwa suna ganewa sai ka bi kasa da su
These are residents of Gaidam, that's in Yobe State, trying to relocate from Gaidam because Gaidam was under siege. And earlier you saw Governor of Niger State, that's Governor Sani Bello. Sometimes when we're talking on this program, it would be as if we are exaggerating or trying to embellish those things that we used to get through intelligence report and get from our friends. Now a sitting governor, APC governor from Niger State, you listen to what he said. And Jide, Governor Sani Bello says Boko Haram are in the state already. We have said it over and over this program, that Boko Haram, they now have like a branch, a full-blown branch in Niger State. Even the 2 hours program we did on Sunday, you opened the program with this comment on Niger State. Now this is justifying whatever you have been saying. The governor is confirming it now.
Yes, because we don't just come on this program to raise unnecessary hell. We don't just come here to lie. We come here to say the truth. If we say anything about the army, it's the truth. If we say army did not repel an attack and they claim that they repelled it, it is the truth. If we say Boko Haram is occupying a part of Nigeria, it is the truth. If we say Boko Haram have been chased out of an area, it is the truth. Now, I've been saying for more than a year that Boko Haram has relocated, some factions of Boko Haram have relocated to Niger State. Anyone who has been listening to me for some time will know that I've said that no less than 10 times on this program. The governor himself has come out to say it.
You don't even try to embellish anything.
No, you can see that he was angry.
Out of
the way he
frustration,
was speaking.
It was just...
Now, they are not only, their presence is not only visible in that state, they have hoisted their flag, which is a way of telling any other bandit group. That's a way of sending the signal to any other bandit group that this is the group that is here now. So stay away, we are in charge of this place. Those who want to say Boko Haram does not occupy any territory in Nigeria because they don't fear God, they lie routinely, that is their problem. But the truth will always be the truth. And the truth is forever self-evident. When I was saying that there are some senators who had not visited their hometowns since 2014, a lot of them say, Jide has come again. He doesn't like the army. Oh, he does not praise the army. Oh, he does not say it when the army are doing well. I said it because it was true. Senator Ali Ndume by himself, came out to say, I've not gone to my hometown since 2014. Senator Kyari, who represents Borno North in the Senate. In fact, he told me by himself that, Jide, you said I've not been there since 2016. You are wrong. I've not been there since 2014. That is...
So you got 2 years?
Yes, I even shaved off 2 years for him. And he said, no, it's since 2014 that I have not gone home.
Till 2021. And this the senator representing that constituency...
Borno North
cannot...
is from Gashigar. Some people were saying the other day that it's from Damasak. They brought it in many stories that Senator Kyari is from Damasak. No, it's from Gashigar. He's somebody that I know very well. So he has not gone home. There are many of them like that who dare not go to their hometowns. I always talk about the Speaker of Borno State. That one even said, look, Boko Haram is in charge of my hometown. He's from Guzamala local government. He cannot go home. When his father died, they buried him in Maiduguri. So these are the things. These IDPs, there are thousands of IDPs in Niger State because these guys, these bandits, these Boko Haram, these terrorists, they are controlling huge portions of 5 local governments in that state. And we've been saying this for so long. Yet there is no effort to put an end to the nonsense that these guys constitute. They now see themselves as so strong now that they are even going to attack army bases and setting ablaze army bases in Niger State.
And taking people's wife.
Everywhere that Boko Haram takes a territory, that is one of their spoils of war. The women will be taken away and married off to their commanders. So it's not a new thing that they are giving people's wives to their commanders.
So when we are talking about the number of people that have been kidnapped, it's like we can't count.
Ayo, we can't even, some of the things that we know, we can't say everything. People were saying the other day, you need to focus more on this place, more on that place. We can't, if we want to simply talk about insecurity, the things that we know, we will do so many programs, we won't talk about anything again. Because the problem is grave. Look at Gaydam, for example. It's a national shame. See the way the people are migrating from the Gaydam because Boko Haram remain there. They remain there. So this is the thing. This is what we face. It's no exaggeration. The governor had gone to the president before to say, give us more security men. But nothing happened. So you can see that it's now expressing its frustration. Packagely angry.
Mayor, the governor says Abuja is not safe, that they are marrying their people's wife. Now, you can see a governor that is messing out his frustration.
Let me start by saying that without sense of responsibility, when it comes to security issues, I think this is the worst government ever in this country. I concede that this government has done well when it comes to infrastructure. I concede that to them, though with a lot of borrowed funds. But it's okay, because if you borrow money to do infrastructure, it's okay. It's only when you borrow money for recurrent expedition that you have problem. But if you borrow money for infrastructure, it will stimulate the economy. You will lay a foundation for other sectors to be able to build on. But when you take infrastructure off and you look at security, the primary duty of government is protection of lives and property. That's why we submitted our sovereignty to government in the first place. And this government, under the watch of his retired general, has failed woefully. You know, there's never been this level of insecurity in this country. And it's unbelievable that this thing could be happening. In the northeast, you have Boko Haram and ISWAP. In the northwest, you have bandits and Boko Haram now. In southeast, you have IPOD militias attacking correctional centers, attacking police stations, creating a lot of problems. In the southwest, that looks to be immune. Now you have banditry. You now have kidnappers everywhere. When it happened in Barapa, and it became an issue, and we led to Sunday Igboho and all that. Now, Ogun State and Oyo State, there are a lot of kidnapping going on in the two states. You cannot now travel between Ijebu-Igbo and Ibadan. They kidnap people on that road every day. In Yewa, they kidnap people every day.
Like just recently located to the Republic of Benin.
So when you look at that, it shows that the entire country, there is no area, no single area that is safe or secured. When you look at, even during the Nigerian Civil War, it was only the eastern region that we had issues.
Yes.
The other part of the country, they did not feel it. The north did not feel the Civil War at all. The southwest didn't feel the Civil War until the Ore, until the Battle of Ore. Until the Battle of Ore. Apart from that, they were insulated from all this insecurity. But now, the entire country is under the mercy of bandits and terrorists. Under the watch of a retired general. It's unbelievable what is happening. And when he gets to, because you see, under Goodluck Jonathan, we thought that the Chibok thing was the lowest, that it could never be bad than, it could not be worse than that. You understand? But now, the kind of thing that happened in Chibok happens everywhere now. It has been replicated severally.
Lost count.
In fact, that is one of the reasons. It is a security issue that was a major thing that made Jonathan to lose the election.
Yes.
And everybody thought,
Chibok issue was a big election issue.
That is a retired general that will be able to solve that problem.
The economy was much better.
Yes, it's worse now. In terms of security, it's worse. The other day, I was just telling somebody that I feel embarrassed that I'm in a country where people will send their kids to university, and then bandits will kidnap those and then they will kill them because they didn't collect ransom. And we say we have a government.
They sometimes collect ransom and still kill people.
I mean, it's unbelievable. What makes our country different from Somalia or some failed states? Because if people cannot travel, they cannot go. It's not just one part of the country. Now every part of the country. You cannot go everywhere. You are in southwest or you are north central, everywhere. For you to travel now, you have to pray, because you don't know what will happen. when you are going. And we claim we have a government. In fact, some government of the ministers and people that constitute the Federal Executive Council, I don't know why they are not embarrassed when they go for meetings. Because in the government...
No, they are embarrassed. They are
yeah, the government that they are part of...
They are hiding it.
Yes, the government they are part of, it's unbelievable what is happening.
They cannot talk. Now, the Nasarawa State governor had similarly said the same thing, that Boko Haram is trying to encircle Nigeria, or what?
No, he said that Boko Haram is in Niger State. And he was not the first to say that. The immediate past Inspector General of Police said that Boko Haram was now in the North Central. So by the North Central, it probably meant part of Niger and Nasarawa State. That was the same thing that the governor of Nasarawa corroborated. So literally, it will seem like these guys are trying to encircle our country, make their presence felt everywhere. And the truth is, if you are a state where there is no serious security issues, you need to tighten your borders, because it may get to you if you relax. That's why I'm happy that the governor of Kano State has taken some steps. He closed one station of higher learning located far away from the state capital, just to be sure that bandits won't go there, because there are some parts of the state that are remote, but the state has been proactive. The state has had excellent security, and that state and Jigawa are the only states in the Northwest, out of the 7 states of the Northwest, that you could say there is security. Others, bandits are running riot, and the governors are seemingly clueless. They can't solve the problem.
Now, Mayor, what are the implications of Boko Haram spreading its tentacles across Nigeria?
You see, the problem, the implication is huge. Why it is huge is that these are terrorists. If you look at what is happening in Borno State, Yobe State, Adamawa State, you understand? If you imagine the kind of things that we saw in Gedam, imagine that happening all over the country. And when they are in Niger State, immediately you will continue to, if you allow them to have a foothold there, and they are established in the forests of Niger State, sure, it's easy for them to attack Abuja regularly, because it's just 2 hours away. They can move during the night, and early morning they are already attacking Abuja, and they can go back to that Niger State. And if our capital, because when even at the height of Boko Haram's dominance during the time of Goodluck Jonathan, what they were doing in Abuja was attacking soft targets, going to markets, attacking UN buildings and all that. You understand? But now, if they are doing what they are doing in a place that the governor just told us is just 2 hours away from Abuja, we can have a full-scale attack. And I cannot imagine our own federal capital being under such attack.
Julie, Borno and Yobe states concerned citizens want the escalating crisis addressed. Yeah. How do they expect the problem to be solved? Because a lot of elders, a lot of people are coming now to say, look, Mr. President, the federal government, you have to do something about this security situation.
Yes, they are saying that the spate of attacks by Boko Haram, especially on security formations, it's a way of ridiculing the armed forces, and they are asking the president to do something quickly. They also want a thorough investigation of the armed forces and the organization of the security architecture of the country, because the people are seemingly helpless, according to them. They are saying that by repeating the tactics that were adopted before now by security, by the service chiefs, definitely Boko Haram cannot be defeated, because they're already used to those tactics. So they want a change in tactics to defeat the enemy. They are now saying that clearly security is drifting in our country, and that the president would do well to summon an emergency national security meeting. They also asked for a constitutional role for traditional authorities, which means traditional rulers in their various communities, government should give them the chance to play a key role in governance, believing that being people who are familiar with their domains, they will be able to help nip some of these security problems in the board. They also talked about the need for the armed forces to stop the idea of blaming civilians for attacks on army formations. You see, nearly all the time you hear that, oh, the civilians who are providing information to Boko Haram to come and kill soldiers and all that. So they now ask the question, the rhetorical question, that who is the civilian that will feel comfortable to face what the people of Gaydam are facing now? That they can do better than simply blaming civilians for the setbacks that the armed forces are suffering. And they have said that what happened in Minok is pathetic but preventable. So they're asking for the IG, the DG of DSS, the National Security Advisor, and the Chief of Defense Staff to be on their toes and take their jobs seriously, because security is drifting in our country and they are paid to secure you and I. So I think those Borno and Yobe concerned citizens made many valid points based on that press conference that they addressed. They really made some valid points, which I expect our government to take a good look at and find a way to solve some of these problems.
Yeah. Are you certain that the military action is the solution right now?
Absolutely. It's just that we must change the security architecture that we have on ground now, because it's obvious that it's not working. I am not a military man, but for example, if I'm the president of Nigeria now, the way I'm looking at things now, the way the security architecture that we have on ground cannot work. So what are the things that I think that I want to suggest that we could do to ameliorate this problem? One, the government should be honest with themselves that what they have on ground, they don't have the capability to solve that problem. So they need help. Where will help come from? First, I think we should get mercenaries, professional soldiers who will complement what we are doing in the northeast. It's important because if you remember, during the time that Boko Haram was running riot in the northeast, towards the tail end of Goodluck Jonathan's regime, before the election, they brought in mercenaries who were able to help them considerably to push Boko Haram
for the 6
soldiers.
Yes. For the 6 weeks the election was extended.
Yes. They were able to bring those people and they succeeded in pushing them back. So it is important that we need help. So we need mercenaries to be able to work in the northeast. That is one. Number 2, we should go cap in hand to yes, I'm serious. We should go cap in hand to America to go and explain to them that look, you are fighting terrorism all over the world. But you spend a lot of money to fight ISIS in Syria and Iraq. You understand? These people have reorganized and they are now Islam fighting us in the northeast. You need to help us. You need to help us. And please, what we need from you are ammunitions and logistics support. They have to go capping out to America to do that.
Intelligence.
Yes, and then intelligence. Those are the things that we need. Ammunitions, intelligence, and that. Thirdly, from the funds that they could get, maybe from America and some funds that they could have, because now there are so many competing things and we are just borrowing money to do everything. There's a need for us to rejig the joint task force between Nigeria, Cameroon, Chad, and Niger.
All right, we'll take this break, we'll pay some bills, and when we come back, we'll talk more. It's still Journalist Hangout. Please stay with us. Don't go away. your most informative and educative program on TV, Journalist Hangout. We're reaching you live from our studio here in Lagos, Nigeria, from the best television station of the year. I still have Miyo Akipelu and Babajide Kolade Otitoju, and we're just looking at the security situation around the country. It's becoming worrisome, embarrassing, and Nigeria is fast moving towards a failed state. And the Minister of Defense even alluded to the fact that Nigeria is bleeding from all sides, and it's very unfortunate. Even when you have people in government, they can allude to this fact. Babajide, Governor El-Rufai, Governor Tambuwa called for collective action to end banditry. What do they mean by this, collective action?
No, it means that all hands must be on deck. And it means that the governors must come together. I had suggested in the past that if we are going to have military campaign against these bandits, then it has to be across board. Because the truth is, if you carry out a military campaign in Zamfara State, and you limit it to Zamfara State, given the way we always announce our operations even before
now we are going there full force,
they are going to move into another state and continue to terrorize people there. We've already received information that bandits have moved from Zamfara State into Kebbi State. The Zulu parts of Kebbi State, people are now being attacked every day. Yes, people are being killed. In fact, they talked about a particular day when they brought people's corpses to the state capital, so that if you can identify your own people, you then identify them. So it has to be done concurrently. At the same time, all of those states of the Northwest, or most of them, have the share border. Kaduna shares border with Katsina in Sabwa, around Sabwa. So if they have problems, if bandits have problems in Kaduna, they can easily go into Katsina State through Sabwa. If they have problems in Zamfara, there are many entry points into Katsina from Zamfara. So what the governor is saying that they should all come together, all of these states. Sokoto, for example, bandits have killed so many people in that state. In places like Tureta, Sabombrini, bandits are running riot. Isa, that's the local government of the former governor of the state, Atahiru Bafarawa. Isa, they are running riot in those places. So there has to be concerted effort, which will involve all the security agencies, all the armed forces. You get them involved, the federal government and the state governments in the states where this thing is most rampant. They have to work together. Talking about military option, I still believe that we should be able to defeat them militarily. But what we are seeing point to the fact that we may not, given the present situation, be able to achieve a kind of sweeping victory over these people, given even some of the setbacks that we suffer in their hands. I've spoken before about a particular bandit leader who killed 18 soldiers, and in spite of that, we refuse to go to his camp to go and avenge the killing of innocent soldiers. So this sometimes will send a message to you that can military operation alone defeat these guys?
And ordinarily, that cannot happen before.
Yeah, yes.
Oh.
Look, so the question is the will even there? You need those are questions that people would naturally ask. Do we even have the will to take on these guys, have a kind of military campaign across the country simultaneously against them? Are we prepared for that kind of elaborate military campaign? meant to exterminate them. I do not see any sign. I do not see any strategy in place. This is the thing. And the more people get killed, the more Nigerians will think that, look, there is the hunger to take out these guys is not there.
Now, President Buhari and met behind closed doors with Governor Zulum, and we saw Asiwaju Bola met Tinubu and former Osun State Governor and Chief BC Akonde yesterday, showing that the president should call, I'm sure it's still this alarming security situation that these leaders went to President Buhari to say, let's do something, let's change tactics.
Yeah, I think Mr. President has made his main duty now, courtesy visit, receiving people, eminent people in the society, and doing photo ops with them. Because several times he has asked the service chiefs and the police, police, to do something about the security situation. Nothing has changed. But we all know that if you keep doing something the same way and you expect a different result, then you don't know what you're doing. And that is what I think. Like Jide said now, the only way we can solve these bandits, the problem of these bandits, I think the Nigerian state, except maybe we are deluding ourselves that we are giant of Africa. If we want to claim that Nigeria is what we think Nigeria is, we should be able to defeat these bandits. We may have problem with Boko Haram. I can understand that because terrorists and the way they are moving around. But these bandits who have just joined them now, we should be able to solve the problem of bandits. But the only way is that the strategy we are using is wrong. The strategy we are using is wrong. We have to put some things in place if we want to defeat these bandits. One, we have to strengthen alternate security forces like Amoteku, like Ebube, whatever. We have to strengthen them to be in a position to complement what the security forces are doing. That's number one. Two, the government have to realize that the insecurity that we have in this country is an emergency. So there should be a state of emergency where we are going to raise sufficient funds to be able to attend to that problem. Third, we have to do maximum show of force. You cannot say you want to. Yes, you cannot say you want to defeat the bandits and you will not just be doing police action. You will go to Niger State today, or you go to Sambara today. You do one major campaign there. You go back to your barrack. You sleep. You will think that will make them disappear. No, because we have several states that share borders. What they have just done is that when you attack this state, they move to another state. So you have to attack them wherever they are at the same time and squeeze them. That's the only way. And so you must budget money for that. You must be able to motivate your fighters, your soldiers. You must know that it is an emergency and treat it as such. If you don't do that, and you think that the only way you will solve the problem is that when people come to you, when Governor Zulum goes and say, this is the problem I'm having in my state, then you will now announce to say, I've mandated the security chiefs to make sure that they fight them. Or you send a message to the bandits that we are not going to accept this one. This will be the last time we are doing that. This government is turning itself to a joke because the bandits know that they don't even have what it takes to take them on. That's why bandits...
Or they've not shown them that they have what
bandits
believe
that we don't have. That's what the bandits believe. That's why they are doing what they are doing.
Julie, even before the American government issued their own travel advisory, we at our level, we've said there are some journeys, if they are not extremely important, we won't go. We've kind of quarantined ourselves to Lagos State because the country is very, very difficult right now. Now, if United States... If they are drawing their graph and the map of Nigeria and they are trying to tell their citizens where not to go, I'm sure out of 36 states now, they should be counting like 28, 29 states.
I'm gonna help you. Now, they have said that your citizens should not travel to Borno, Yobe, Northern Adamawa, Gombe, Kaduna, Kano, Katsina, Zamfara, and the coastal states of Akwa Ibom, Bayelsa, Cross River, Delta, and River states, with the exception of Port Harcourt. So they are saying Port Harcourt city is safe, but other parts of rivers are not safe. And they are saying that kidnappers target people with dual nationality You know, especially people who are returning home.
Yes.
Yes. You saw it happened.
The chief that was killed
from the US. And that terrorists remain very active in the northeast, carrying out attacks, and that the violence between herders and farmers in rural areas has not gone down. So they are saying, look, we have to be careful. They are saying that despite promises by security agencies and government officials to curb the menace, the situation has continued to worsen. So they are saying that to escape violent crimes like armed robbery, assault, carjacking, kidnapping, hostage-taking, banditry, and rape that are common across our country, that there's a need for them to not go to those states that I mentioned.
If you draw a map now, and those states that you've called down,
so
if
those
states,
that
means
they are risk
country
zones.
will be bleeding.
The risk zones is just in the southwest. Southwest, just like the last one that they issued. Southwest was also excluded, you know. But there's a need for governors of the Southwest to do much more than they are doing now to ensure that the Southwest remains safe. It's the gateway to our country, and if the Southwest falls into the kind of violent combustion that we are facing in other parts of the country, then it will be very bad, because all of this, the most recent travel advisory by the US, the Southwest had been left out, you know. Southwest Edo State left out, but there's a need for vigilance to ensure that this thing does not seep into the Southwest on the scale that we are seeing in other parts of the country.
Mayor, don't forget that recently it's at a peaceful southeast, because if you are talking about Imo States, Owerri, that's why they have a lot of hotels, tourism. It's a jolly good place to go to, and you know, for this thing. Now, gunmen in white bus killed 2 soldiers and a civilian at Ebonyi checkpoint, and this is getting scary. That's Ebonyi State now.
You see, why I'm scared for Nigeria is that no country, no general, no good general can fight on all fronts. And the problem we have now as a country is that this country is being made to fight on all fronts. Because what is happening in the southeast? What is happening in the southeast? There are 2 kinds of people creating this problem in the southeast. These bandits, the bandits elements, some of them masquerading as herders, have been able to move south. You know, when they kept moving down, they've been trying to create problem in some part of southwest and some part of southeast. So we have those bandits who call on themselves S-men, trying to create problem in the southeast. But now we have added the IPOB militias to it. That is the main problem that we have. And the IPOB militias are operating like a terrorist group. That is the reality. They have enough firearms, they have enough military training, they even have commanders. So they're not different from Boko Haram. And if because they are getting emboldened, and because you see, if people can attack correctional centers, attack police headquarters, now they've attacked the governor's home, the governor's country home. Yes. You understand? And they kill security forces randomly or regularly. The kind of problem you see is that if it gets worse, we are going to have the kind of problem we have in the northeast, in the southeast. And that is why it is scary. The government have to find a way to solve that problem now. Because IPOD, you know, you see, IPOD militia, initially, what you used to have is that they will create some problems, government will be able to move in, you understand, and then mop them up, and then you won't hear a lot of things. Maybe most of the things that they will do is to say, okay, people should not open their markets at a particular date. But now they are emboldened, they are launching attacks. They are launching, so it's a full-scale militia. They are launching attacks. They have commander. One of their commanders was killed recently, which
I saw it on the internet. As the Kanu was mourning him.
Yes, it's their commander. Yes,
was mourning him.
Yes, it's their commander. I know. I can understand that because they
Nigeria will pay for it.
They said he was the one that led the forces that attacked the correctional center and the police headquarters. But the problem is that, yes, the attack is based and they killed him, though a lieutenant and some policemen were killed. But the problem now is that that is not the only commander that they have. There are other commanders.
They said
that's what I'm saying.
The replacement.
That's what I'm saying. There are other commanders. And they have vowed that they are going to revenge the death of that guy. Yeah. So that's the problem. Because don't forget that when Yusuf was killed, that was how Boko Haram people were saying, we're going to revenge this guy. And we've been at it since then. Now, they want to replicate that thing in the southeast that was relative. Even when there was a time that there was a lot of kidnapping in the southeast. But they were able to handle it, and it went down. But now, these iPod militias, if it festers, we are in serious trouble.
They will ensure that it will be Agu.
They've already issued a statement that nobody should join. That anybody that joined, that they will attack those people. That's what I'm saying now, that if we face the kind of problem we're facing in the northeast, if we face that again in the southeast, and then you have the banditry that is in the central and affecting other regions, then God help Nigeria.
To be overwhelming.
God help Nigeria.
But Babajide,
we are talking about the president asking, people asking the president to seek for help wherever he can find it. And he was in a virtual meeting with Anthony Blinken.
Yeah, the Secretary of State.
Yes, the U.S. Secretary of State, and is asking them to relocate, the U.S. to relocate the U.S. Africa Command. From Stuttgart, that's the way it's pronounced, from Stuttgart to Africa, so that they can provide support for African countries that are battling insurgency of all kinds now. And the truth is, many African countries are actually fighting all kinds of insurgency. When you look at even Central Africa,
Republic, Congo,
Central Africa,
yes, Central Africa.
You see countries like Sahel. You see even Chad around us here. All of those countries that share border with Chad, there's not a single one that is not going through some form of insurgency at home. You see Mali, Niger Republic, Northern Burkina Faso, even Mauritania, and all of the insurgencies that these countries are facing, they have the same modus operandi with Boko Haram. Is the same goal that they have. They want to form their own state, which will be theocratic in nature and just similar to what we have in Somalia, in those parts of Somalia where Al-Shabaab is in control. It's strict Islamic theocracy that they are practicing there, and there's no rule of law in the real sense of it. Now, he is saying that if the U.S. can can relocate Africans from Stuttgart to Africa, they will be able to provide the kind of support that Africa needs to defeat insurgency. Look at a country like Kenya. Kenya took it upon itself to fight Al-Shabaab. Al-Shabaab now brought insurgency to the doors of Kenya because they share border with Kenya. In fact, there are so many Somali Kenyans inside their country. People who are originally of Somali origin who are now Kenyan. So when you fight insurgency will fight back in various forms. We just need to continue to improve our tactics, provide equipment for the troops, game-changing equipment. Look at the Air Force, for example, because I've seen even some debates as per, is it really the problem of not having weapons? But people fail to realize that one of the reasons the Nigerian army is largely defensive is because of weapons inadequacy. If you have enough weapons, if you have enough troops, you will be confident, you'll be able to launch many operations simultaneously. But if you don't have enough troops and you don't have enough weapons, you'll be hamstrung. So the weapons that you have, you just stay maybe in your super camp and be waiting to be attacked. There have been occasions when we wanted to launch an attack and we were mopping weapons from different bases. You know, I never thought a day would come when one will be pushed to say certain things. Because you also don't want to embarrass your nation about some of the things that you know. We can't have a situation in which we are not ready at any time to be an offensive force. We must be an offensive force.
And that's the only way
you can win.
Take the battle
You have to
them.
be an offensive
Look,
force.
Before they plan the next one.
We know where Boko Haram is. We know their camps. The army knows their camps. But to launch those attacks simultaneously to go and finish them is difficult because we don't have enough troops on ground to do it.
Because the offensive campaign is more difficult than defensive.
You have to mobilize enough equipment.
You need more men.
Look at the last
You need superior
power.
About
to Chad.
Yes.
We showed viewers the visual of gun trucks.
You know the way they were going, armor tanks, main battle tanks, even tankers, fuel tankers,
yes.
All of them going because he was not going to joke with the operation.
Convoy.
He was not going to joke with that operation. When last did we launch that kind of grand offensive? When last that we said, okay, this one today, we are coming for you, and we go there and to kill them. In which you mobilize, do you know how many thousands soldiers he used in that operation? About 6,000 soldiers. Do you know what it means for a small? It's a small area.
Yeah.
Because even our border with Chad, the land border, is not more than 40 kilometers. But he moved them.
Mobilize that kind of resources.
You know why you need 6,000? Because you have to dominate that environment. You have to dominate
and
it.
He crushed them. We saw it with our eyes. We saw weapons that were seized.
And they had the advantage of getting intelligence from the French government.
Yes.
So those are the US. Those are the points exactly where they are.
Yes, now.
So they will take the battle to them there.
Yes.
So we need intelligence.
So that's the thing. They knew where they went there.
To launch this offensive.
To launch such offensive against the enemy, it will involve a lot of weapons. A lot. You see, when you the armed forces, the air force will be involved with its own armada of air platforms. The army too will bring in all of its weapons, artillery.
Amphibious.
What's it called? Even in that area, we may not even need all that. You need your tanks, light armored vehicles, main battle tanks, trucks. You know, all kinds of weapons that you need, including all the weapons like even the gun trucks. You know, the Boko Haram has even made us to use gun trucks a lot more. It was not in the tradition of the army to be using gun trucks like that. But in that terrain,
that's the weapon of terrorists. That's the weapon of
because you just be saying indiscriminately.
Yes. In that terrain, you need it. Idris Deby too, because they are used to that terrain and they have been fighting wars for many years. They too used it sufficiently.
Because all of them started as guerrilla forces, so that's their hallmark. They use gun trucks a lot.
Okay, finally, former IG Okiro says Nigerians are losing confidence in security agencies. Is that really the case?
Of course, yes. Because you see, the what makes government is that you can protect your people, and government can only protect the people through security agencies. You understand? But when the security fail to protect you, you understand, you lose the respect that you have for them. And it's even affecting citizens. The other day I watched a video where one madman broke a bottle on the head of a serving police officer. I mean, it shows the kind of contempt.
They've demystified.
The kind of contempt. Because when you see the uniform, you are supposed to respect it. You are supposed to fear.
Yes.
Because the authority that man is wielding is that uniform. That is the authority. So normally a thug can do that when they are doing their union thing or something in one garage. And then you may want to try to show people that you are bold, and then you will break bottle on top of another person. But to do that on the head of a police officer shows that people are not.
We are still saying it.
Yes,
we are meant to apprehend that particular guy.
The Lagos State Commissioner of Police.
Yes, Mr. Odumusu.
He has to produce that
guy. We want to see his face. And we want justice served on him. Yes.
So that others can learn.
How
do you break a bottle on a policeman's head? Wherever he is, he must be smoked out for Nigerians to know. For Nigerians to know that they cannot get away with this kind of
authority. They must arrest that man and serve him justice. Because if you don't do that, it emboldens all these riffraffs in different places.
In Agege and other places.
Believing that they can do it. Because that guy now will be like a
the one who beats, no, let him come out now, whether they will not get him. He must be hiding where he is. The idiot who was wearing police uniform the other day during NSAS, by the time they got hold of him, they were calling him DPO. Yes. And he was working with a swagger. By the time they got him, and his lips were already swollen. He had become.
That's the video.
He had become very jittery.
Can you imagine it?
So this is the thing. He cannot stand. He cannot. That boy cannot walk around free now. Because he knows they are looking for him. But they will get him. I know the police will get him. You can't. When you visit this kind of anger against the police, they will get you. They will get you.
It may take some time, but they will get him.
They will get him. I'm sure of that.
Where's the DPO today? He was paraded.
That's
like
a
cheap crook.
Very stupid boy. He was wearing an oversized police uniform and they were hailing him. By the time they got hold of the boy,
he was humble.
He was already very humble.
I want to thank you. Mayor Akipelu, you're looking good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for your contribution.
Thank you.
And the master himself, Babajide Kolade Otitoju. We won't stop. We won't be tired.
Tired.
We won't be tired. We won't stop.
And we can't be blackmailed.
No.
If we are as tough as nails.
Yes, you
can't blackmail us.
Call us PDP.
We will speak the truth. We will speak the truth.
We are
that one we can guarantee.
And that's our offering today. Join us tomorrow for another episode of the program. And don't forget to join us on Journalist Hangout on Sunday from 1:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. That's on our DSTV platforms and GoTV and our other platform. We're not going to be on our terrestrial platform on Sunday, but between 1:30 to 3:30 every Sunday now, 2 hours, 120 minutes, we are going to serve you good. We're on YouTube, youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I'm Ayodele Uzubakun. Bye for now, and God bless Nigeria.